Hey guys, all right, today I am going to teach you how to draw Pigeon out of the Elephant and Piggy books. I'm sure many of you guys have read the Elephant and Piggy books. They're the ones that are written by Mo Willems. And he also has the Pigeon series book. And if you look in the Elephant and Piggy books, you'll see that pigeon that's kind of hidden in the book somewhere, usually in the front or the back. Okay, so today we are going to actually draw Pigeon. Okay, so Mrs. Amelia will have given you your paper with your name in the corner, just like Miss Myers does. Okay, but what I want you to do is make sure you flip it over so that your name is on the back of your paper. Okay, so our first step is you guys are going to use some of these little Soda Steve's cups that Mrs. Amelia has passed out. And we're going to trace these, but we're going to do that in just a minute, okay? Our first step is we're going to make a landscape line, okay? We don't want it down here at the bottom of the paper, but we also don't want it here in the middle. We kind of want it somewhere right in here. So we're going to start by drawing a landscape line, okay? So that's step one. Then you're going to take your cup and you're going to place it right about in the middle. Okay, this is going to be the head of our pigeon. So we're going to go ahead and trace around the cup, just like that. Okay, so once you've done that, okay, then what we're going to do is we're going to come down here and we are going to make the neck. And the neck on pigeon is kind of skinny. So we're going to make it coming down like this. Okay. Then our next step, we are actually going to draw kind of the shape of a teardrop for the body. So we're going to start over here. We're going to go over, curl around, and go back up. Okay, that's your next step. Then we got to give our pigeon some legs. Now your legs are not going to end right here on this area, on this line. They're going to go down into the line. So you're going to draw two lines going down like that. Then we're going to give each foot 3 toes, just like that. Then we're going to give pigeon a little feather. Okay, and then on the neck of pigeon, there's a little band. Okay, so at this point we've got most of pigeon drawn except for the face. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to do 2 triangles like this to make the beak. Now, pigeon has kind of a big eye. So what we'll do is we're going to draw kind of a big eye, and then on the inside of it we're going to draw another line. And it's kind of backwards. We usually draw it the other way for our projects, like with our reindeer, so it's kind of opposite. Okay, once you have done that, you are actually going to go over everything in Sharpie. Okay, but I forgot a Sharpie, so I had to run over to my desk and get one. Okay, so pigeon has been drawn. So the next step is you're going to put your pencils and erasers away, and then you are going to trace over all of your pencil line in Sharpie. Okay. Now on the eye, you will color with your Sharpie in the top part of the eye. Okay, so the top part of the eye will be black, just like this. Okay, you're gonna go over the beak. Then we need to make sure we do the legs and the toes. I don't know if that's really what they're called on a pigeon, but that's what we're gonna call them. And then don't forget your landscape line right here. So once I have gone over everything in Sharpie, okay, then I'm ready for my next step. Okay, so we are gonna be using these really fluorescent colors to paint with. All right, here's the only thing about these paints that you need to know. A lot of water makes them really, really light. So we want to try to not use a ton of water. So I'm going to show you what you're going to do. You're going to paint this whole background however you want. Don't paint the pigeon. We'll paint him next week. But what you're going to do is when you are getting water on your paints, because you know to make these paints work, you have to have water. So you're going to take your paintbrush and you see how it drips a little bit of water? And then you're going to swirl. And you're going to swirl, 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 swirl over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Because look what happens. Look at my paintbrush. Do you see how full of paint it is? Okay, so I'm gonna keep swirling because I want as much paint so that it's a nice dark orange color. So let me show you what it looks like. See how bright that is? We're painting with neon colors, okay? So now I need more paint. So I'm gonna come back in here. I'm not gonna get more water, but I'm gonna swirl and swirl and swirl, just like this. And look, it makes it even a little bit darker. Okay, so then when I want to change colors, I'm going to rinse my paintbrush out really, really good. And let me show you what happens with colors like green, okay? If you put too much water on the green, it almost makes it not show up, okay? So you have to be really careful to swirl like crazy, crazy, swirl, 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 swirl. So let me show you. See how that can get really thin really fast? See how when you spread it out, it's really thin? What you need to make sure you do is go back in there when there's not any extra water and go over it and make it just a little bit darker. Okay? And you're gonna paint this background however you want. The only thing that you really have to do is we're gonna make the bottom part green. Okay? But let me show you some of these other really cool colors. Let me show you this one. It is so pretty. Okay, swirl it all around. It's such a great color. See, my paintbrush is really full of color. That means I'm ready to go. So I'm gonna paint down here. Okay, I'm gonna paint all over. I'm gonna go back and get some more color. I'm gonna fill this in nice and dark. Okay, if you get paint on the table, no worries, because Miss Myers does what? Says we will wash it, never a problem. Okay, so you're gonna fill this whole background in with all kinds of colors, but make sure in between each color you swish and swish and swish in the water cup because we do not want to mix our colors up. Okay, and I am swirling like crazy. Let's see what this yellow looks like. Oh, look how bright that is. That's so pretty. Do you see that? I'm gonna go back in and swirl again. That yellow looks so good. Okay, so once you have painted the whole background and this part green, you are actually done for the day. So you'll go put your paper to dry, clean up your spot, and then you have free draw. All right, I'll see you guys next week. I miss you.